Hello everyone, Isabella here. Today I want to continue talking about limiting beliefs and what happens when you have gathered your list of limiting beliefs. What then? Well, if you don't have a breakthrough coach, if you don't have somebody that can sit down and identify patterns of behavior with your thought patterns and actually challenge those beliefs, this is what you should do now. So have you gathered any evidence around those beliefs that prove that it's just not a fact? What you think is more of a fear of past experiences rather than a fact of something that's going to happen in the future. For instance, if we take my singing event when I was 9 years old, it was catastrophic. Every parent in the school knew just how bad I was at singing. And I've taken that and I've internalized it as that's the worst thing that can possibly happen to me, is stand up in front of an audience and sing like a drowned cat. And I'm always going to forget what I'm going to say or what I'm going to sing. And this just isn't true. It was just one event in my entire life that I've chosen to anchor negative beliefs onto, such as I can't sing, I can't remember my lines, I can't give a positive performance, I can't speak in public, I don't want to talk to people because I'm not going to remember what I'm going to say. This is nonsense, isn't it? Because what happened on that one occasion should not be the root and anchor for all further performances, because that was just one event. But we tend to do this. We tend to internalize the actions of one event, the outcome of one event, and generalize it across everything associated with that one thing. So if I'm scared of public speaking now, it's generally going to be because I'm anchoring it to that first performance. The thing is, it wasn't my first performance. I actually had hundreds of performances before then, but that was the first bad one I had, the first negative experience. So if I was a breakthrough coach with you, if I was to take you and your negative beliefs, I would challenge them. And I would challenge you to deal with them and deal with them in a positive light, because they are fears at the end of the day. And fear is our number one prevention of becoming the person you were born to be, the person you were meant to be. And remember, you are unique. I think it's something like 70 trillion to 1 chance that you're actually here. Never mind here listening to this. But, a lot of probability went into making you. There was timing, there was chance, there was all sorts of stuff, and you're here now because, well, you were meant to be here. And the challenges that you faced, you were meant to face those challenges. But what you were not meant to do is center your life around fear. And we all do it. We all have our fears. We all have those fears that are just getting in the way. They're not fears that are good for us. They're fears that are bad for us. They're not fears that are going to help us. They're just fears that are going to destroy us. So, a breakthrough coach will help you to gather the evidence to suggest that this is a one-off, or maybe 2 event, or maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times. But it's definitely not a pattern of behavior that is going to continue through the rest of your life, because there are strategies that you can put in place to make sure it doesn't happen. And the first thing we need to do is start focusing on our posture, how we actually sit and stand, because our physiology is everything. If you draw a pyramid on a piece of paper and on the base of the pyramid put physiology, you realize that it's like the foundations of a house. If that physiology is not there, everything else crumbles. So on the left side of the pyramid, you'd put focus, because focus is a big problem. We choose to focus on the negative things that are going to bring us down. We never focus on the positive things. How many performances had I given where, I think it's about 100, where I had performed well, very, very well, but I choose to focus on this negative performance when I could have focused on the great performances that I'd given previous. And when I say hundreds, and I'm only 9 years old, I started when I was very small. And I did the same with gymnastics as well. I was really good at gymnastics, but one day I fell off the horse and I banged my back straight in the middle of the horse, and the pain was horrendous. And instead of continuing with gymnastics, I decided that that's it, never going to do gymnastics again. Now, I was really good at gymnastics and then I gave it up. Why? Because I feared that if I continued, that would happen again, and maybe worse. And we tend to build these patterns up day after day after day after day after day. And then when we get to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, they're so ingrained and rooted, we anchor everything else to them because this is what we know. This is what our brain knows. And remember, our brain has to protect us. It's got two jobs: to keep us alive and protect us from harm. So it puts these negative limiting beliefs in there that just are not true. Just because you failed when you were 9 doesn't mean you're going to fail again. But remember, the comfort zone is there. So what a breakthrough coach will do is they will enable you to reframe your thoughts. So like I've just said, it was one instance, it was one occasion. Let's look at all of the other occasions that you've actually had the opportunity to do that haven't turned out that way. And what about the ones in the future that won't ever get performed because of this one belief? If you allowed yourself to go on stage, learn your lines, go on stage, what would be the massive impact that you were giving to the audience? Different way of framing it. And this is what a breakthrough coach does. They help you to reframe until you get a positive outcome. And a lot of the time, and I know because I've been through breakthrough coaching, a lot of the time we come away from it thinking, what the heck was that all about? I spent 20, 30 years being scared of public speaking. For what reason? If I'd have started 20, 30 years ago, I could have been X by now. And we're all processing these things all day long, every day. So one of the things that a breakthrough coach will enable you to do is to take action. So they will help you step outside your comfort zone, and they will help you to face your fears, and they will help you to build a new matrix. And they will do it by the third leg of the pyramid, through the language that you use. So don't say I can't, say I can. Don't say I never, say I can. Don't say I should, say I must, because at the end of the day, anything that should or possibly or perhaps or may, they're not concrete, they're not positive. A should is a negative. A must is a positive. And when you must take the steps to become the best version of you, 9 times out of 10, you will turn that must into a positive, not the negative, the positive. Now, going back to my fear of public speaking, it is absolutely ludicrous. I talk all day long to people. Why on earth would I be scared of public speaking? And it's because the focus is on me rather than external. When you start thinking about the impact that you can have just by sharing the information that you have with others, it's amazing. When you take the focus off you and put it onto the other people, it's amazing. And the judgment that you give yourself is terrifying. And I used to think, well, I can't do public speaking because if I do and I get it wrong, those people are going to suffer. Again, it's about me. What happens if I let those people down? It's about me. None of it's about them. So when that happens, when the shift happens away from you and towards the other people, you realize that the fears that you had, the negativity that you had, is just not worth wasting your time over. So get yourself into a position where you can work with a breakthrough coach, where you can start by yourself and just write down all of the fears that you have, what they've prevented you from doing, what you want to do in the future, and how you think that you could collect the evidence, change your thoughts, and take action to become the person you want to become. Now, I say the person that you want to become, because inside us, inside every single one of us, we have an ideal version of ourselves. It's not a pie in the sky idea. It is who you truly want to be. So remove some obstacles, remove them, and move towards the future that you want to be just by taking this one action. This one action will help you move forward in life. Write down your limiting beliefs and question them. And then come up with a positive belief that is opposite to the negative belief. And then work towards making that happen. Now, whether you go with a breakthrough coach or not, you can take this step by yourself. So hopefully you're going to do your task, because tasks are important. It's okay listening, but doing is the most important thing. So take action today, write everything down, and get yourself a book, a real book and a real pen, because writing technology doesn't help to firm it in your brain. It doesn't help to concretify it. I love that word, concretify. It's a fake word. I made it up. Doesn't matter. Anyway, until next time, do the task, find your results, and let's process this together. I'm Isabella. Thanks for listening.